The town of Luton. In recent years, it has grown a reputation for scenes like these. The Muslim community, in particular, often makes the news.
A family of 12 from Luton are feared to have travelled to Syria.
25 young men from the Muslim community in Luton have been jailed for a total of more than 15 years.
Nationalist groups such as the English Defence League, which was founded in the town, and Britain First, have subsequently seen Luton as a key battleground against this so-called Islamic threat.
Go back to the desert! Go back to the desert!
This is Britain!
Growing up nearby in Watford, I've always wondered if this reputation of Luton is fair, and how community leaders in the town, both Muslim and non-Muslim, are responding. June 27th. Demonstration by Britain First protesting the number of mosques in Luton is set to get underway. A tense time for interfaith workers in the town.
I've been leading the voice of the church here for the last few weeks, ever since we heard that Britain First were coming, because they have such a strong claim for a Christian voice. We wanted to make sure that they knew that churches in the town were saying, no, we don't want this.
This town is a very good town. We have our challenges, but we also know how to resolve our challenges and difficulties. And this is a reasonably cohesive town. It's a diverse town, and people like that come and try and divide us, and that's why we don't want people like that in our town.
The demonstration went ahead without much incident. Only 3 arrests were made, with minimal clashes between members of Britain First and the counter-protest by Unite Against Fascism.
Stop seeing scum! Off our streets! Stop seeing scum! Off our streets!
Britain First have often targeted Luton, in particular Bury Park, a district in the town which has a large Muslim community.
We're having a drive around a heavily Muslim area of Luton. It's called Bury Park.
They publish videos online portraying the area as Muslim only and hostile to any outsiders.
See these youngsters, they're against us, this and that. However, but when you speak to these youngsters who were on the video, they told the story that these people, they were provoking us, they were saying stuff to us, and obviously if someone swears at your parents or anyone's parents, you know, they will reply back to them.
With their videos, they're saying they were initially attacked in Bury Park. If you're going to call someone saying to them, go back to the desert, what do you expect? You're going to get that reaction back.
They've just walked straight into mosques, shoes on, no respect, and they've just said, here, you need to read this, and hand them a military issue Bible, and then start calling them paedophiles and say you have to stop this paedophilia, and you have to stop this, and you have to stop that.
They're saying things like that's a non-white area, non-white goat area. We're not in the 1960s anymore. That's never happened. That's never been the case, ever.
They see it as kind of Muslim takeover, which isn't really true. It's a really mixed kind of neighbourhood.
We can be doing the most incredible work, and we are doing the most incredible work, getting people talking, getting people together. But it's then a group come from outside, or something happens, like the atrocities that happened just yesterday, for example, around the world, and it just immediately impacts us, and we're not back to square one, but we're challenged again.
We're tired of these people coming into a town.
Why is it this town that always gets picked on?
There is indeed frustration that outside groups are looking to disrupt communities in the town. Only 5% of those who attended the demonstration were from Luton. So why is Luton being targeted? The town has had some problems with radical Muslims in recent years, often highlighted by the national media.
We have groups here who are very unhappy. The reality is that the extremes of those groups are small in number.
When someone has a tendency towards any terrorist or extreme organisation, we always see the first thing is there's different stages to it. The root stage to it is that they don't feel secure living in the place they are. They feel isolated.
Extremism, division, yeah, it's here, but the popular image is not the reality.
It's really easy to get onto the limelight of the media and say the negative things, but if you say positive things, it's very hard to get in because it won't attract many people, because it's not something that the listeners are willing to listen to.
All thanks to God, all praises be to our Lord in the heavens. We believe that He has now opened the way for people to actually see the beauty of Islam and what it really is, which is happiness, which is joy, which is love and forgiveness and forbearance and tolerance. These things, unfortunately, the very opposite of these things are what media generally portray.
It's Eid, an important Muslim holiday which marks the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting. Celebrations on a grand scale are being held in a Luton park, and it's open to all.
When I came to the UK, Eid was very much a very boring thing. Men went to the mosques, women cooked at home, and that was it. So we revived the correct means, because during the days of the Prophet of Islam, he didn't pray Eid in the mosque, and he didn't leave the women at home. And he did not neglect all the people who were not Muslim in the community. He shared the feast. Eid means to feast. And he shared it with the whole community. We revived that essence.
Trying, but you're not pulling it from the stomach. Takbir! All right, that was a little bit better.
There was also some significance to the location of the festival.
After doing this in Farley Hill, which is where EDL was born, after we did Eid Fest, loads of EDL members, family members and others came and joined us, and they were surprised that it was a Muslim-run event, a welcoming event, and all of Farley Hill, that's gone.
While there is indeed optimism about future cohesion within the town, some still voice a note of caution.
We need to have youngsters coming up as youngsters need to stand up and be the face of the community. This is what we're finding hard.
I've seen a lot of the younger generation really determined to not be baited into any kind of extreme reaction.
They try to come forward, however they're pushed down by few members of the community because there's so much politics. When a youngster comes forward, he's passionate about it, he's enthusiastic about the cause. However, then later on he's pushed down when he's not motivated, he's discouraged.
And they're really keen to share where they're coming from. I'm not just talking about Asian Muslims, I'm talking about across the board.
We make the path for our youngsters, I think our future will be bright.
I'm optimistic for good people. I'm also very pessimistic because it takes one bad person to do a bad thing, and it takes 10,000 good people to do good things, to make them equal.
There are quite a lot of people with issues, but actually we've committed to talk about these issues, to engage with them, to talk about them positively. And I mean, even just 2 days ago I was talking to one of the leaders of the community about how we can up the effort in doing that.
I really love Luton. It's diverse, there's all kinds of things here, but still diversity is polarized. And that's the only thing I think we have left to conquer.
Despite work by community, interfaith and resident groups, Luton continues to attract national attention because of its high Muslim population, particularly in current times of concern about extremism. But often, the media portrayal of the town is just a snapshot of a community learning to live together and celebrate their differences.
I quote the Quran, where God, Allah, He tells us in the Quran, I have created you various different nations so that you may benefit from each other's beauty.